Welcome to Women Meet for Dinner, where conversations go deeper and truth has a place at the table. This is a space where women speak openly, sharing the moments that have shaped who they are, unfiltered, honest, and real. I'm your host, Dominique, and I invite you to pull up a seat.
Today we have Andrea Pike, a local female leader living in Costa Mesa, California. She's a senior director of marketing in the nonprofit sector and has been in the brand marketing industry for more than 20 years. Andrea is a female natural leader, professional, wife, and mother to 3 children, two-legged and one four-legged. Oh, Henry Provolone. Welcome, Andrea. Thank you for joining me today on Women Meet for Dinner.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
This has been our third interview together for different mediums and purposes. You've even appeared on my daughter's documentary film. Thank you for your continued support and willingness to speak to us. Truly appreciate your advocacy for women in our community. Super important. And you're a supporter of it all. I appreciate that. A little bit about our story. We've known each other for about 9 years now. When I first moved to Huntington Beach, California in 2017, I was seeking a new job opportunity. So naturally, you and I were introduced by a mutual friend in the action sports industry. We met in person at the Yard House in Costa Mesa. Immediately, I knew we would be friends because you were someone I could trust. So, just after a few minutes of discussing the available role at your agency, you immediately opened up, honestly, about the complexity of the role itself and the company you were working for. You tried to negotiate a better pay for me with the CEO of the company and then ended up discouraging me to apply. I really appreciated that. Basically, the reason why is you were unhappy and faced the truth that you ultimately deserved better for yourself. So you left that company. This isn't your full story, but I wanted to highlight it since I was a witness to one of your life challenges at that time and how you handled it all as a professional mother and wife in the same industry that I was eagerly trying to climb through. So you were an inspiration to me at that moment. You never given up and you keep going after what you want in your career. You are not just an inspiration to me, the community, but to everyone.
Wow. I don't even know what to say to that, but thank you so much. I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop. No.
You do it well, Andrea. You do it well.
Well, thank you.
With that, I think it's important to highlight the good and positive, but also to recognize the mistakes and messiness of life. Sometimes we need something to encourage us to dream bigger and understand that life comes with its own challenges. By embracing life as it comes and knowing that we are happy because we deserve to be happy and not because of our circumstances. So, Andrea, let's jump into the nitty gritty.
Let's do it.
Great. Big question. How do you balance it all?
I don't I don't know if I really know how you do it. You do it because you have to, right? It's I'd like to be like, oh, I'm one of these people that gets up at 5 every morning and I do all this stuff. No, I trudge out of bed, I get in the shower and I go to work and I put on a happy face and I get the work done and then I come home and do the other things. It's not I guess I don't want to say it's not rockets. We do what we need to do, and there are certain times in my life where I do have a rigorous routine, but the fact of the matter is no matter once it gets really good, something's gonna disrupt it. Right. And so I'd say how I balance it all is being flexible and truly just knowing that as soon as you feel like everything's working, it's gonna fall apart. So just be ready for it.
With that, with those hard moments, those difficult moments, it's it's something that we have to talk ourselves through, and sometimes we need that support from others. So, are you able to kind of share a difficult moment in your life when you thought you wouldn't be able to make it through?
Yeah, I feel like through all fine things with career and the kids, I feel like that was always really manageable. But my husband and I have been living together for 31 years. I mean, we've been living together since we were 20 years old. And he has a lot of serious mental health issues. And everything that comes with that. I mean, it's truly the good times and the bad. And we've talked about how we're on our 10th marriage. You know what I mean? We've had to redefine and start over many times, and we keep choosing each other. But there were a couple of those marriages that I was like, I'm gonna have to walk away from this. And it was those fears of, I'm gonna have to walk away from this. I've got to get the kids stable. I can't, like all of those things. Like if those were really hard because that's the foundation. The family is always the foundation, and really thinking that I may need to disrupt this. Even kids didn't really know the seriousness of it, which was intentional. But we've come out the other side, and I also got better at going, oh, his mental health issues are not mine.
Mhm.
I'm not a therapist. I can only help so much, and kind of having a healthy boundary. It doesn't mean that even now, if I'm sitting on the couch with him and he's like heavy breathing, like, I'm like, what's the matter? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I have to remember, this is not my problem, and
Right.
so I had to create some healthy boundaries as to what is my problem, what isn't my problem, and knowing that I either have to choose to live with it or not to live with it, and what does the disruption of not living with it versus living with it. So those were the hardest things in the marriage to navigate.
Sure. Wow. And it is a lot. And a lot of women do have to face that. And just marriage on top of that. But when we talk about mental health and, just health in general, it's a lot to take on for sure.
Yeah. I mean, even at 51 years old, I was sitting there having dinner with him the other night, and I was like, if you don't get right now, he's going through a real depressive stage, and literally it goes all over the place and mostly managed. But I'm like, I don't have to live with this. I don't need to live with negativity, and I won't. So if you want to be negative, I'm still not going to live there with you. And so, it's a hard thing to say. It doesn't mean I'm like out of here, but I will check out of his negativity, and he's got to cope with it. And, I think by yesterday morning he made a new appointment with this doctor, and I'm like, you got to see, I can't manage these symptoms for you, so it never goes away. But I've gotten better at managing my role in it.
And that's most important. It's that self-care, those boundaries that you set for yourself.
And even then, even when I set the boundary, it doesn't mean I don't feel like I should fix it, but it's a practice.
Sure. Through all that, what has this experience like taught you outside of creating boundaries for yourself? Is there anything else, a lesson that you would want to share?
you know uh, I'm still learning them, and that is the honest to God truth.
Okay.
I always tell people, I'm like, I don't know what I don't know, and every day I learn I don't know. Like, and it's funny because I'd say probably 20 years ago I'd be telling somebody this is what you're supposed to do, and here I am later middle age saying I'm not really sure. You've got to try a few things and find what works for you at that moment. So is it's hard to say with those lessons other than I'm always learning and always trying to adjust what works in that moment, and really try not to judge other people and situations because I don't know theirs. So I think it's
Right.
just learning.
And the willingness to learn. I think that says a lot, right?
And knowing, and honestly, and that's like humbling, is to know that you don't know. I think that might actually make anxiety go away, is saying, oh, I know, I've got this. Where I'm always going, I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Right.
So it's there is a little bit of relief in being able to say that, is that I don't know. In fact, I know when I have like staff and people that come to me and I ask a question, and I know they don't know, they don't have to tell me something that's not accurate or BS me. I'm like, I'm not the person to BS. Just tell me you don't know and you're going to go figure it out.
Sure.
That's good. That's teamwork. So
It's honesty. And not a lot of people
yeah,
can be honest.
it's integrity too. It's like you want your
Absolutely.
word to matter. Don't BS me because then your word doesn't matter.
Right. Right. That's leadership. That's a good positive leader. With that, how do you keep going? How do you tell yourself? okay, tomorrow's going to be a better day? Or what is it that you tell yourself to keep going?
Um, I don't. I don't tell myself to keep going. I just keep going. I don't know if I've ever seen it as not an option, and I don't know how much time we have, but I'll quickly say one of my dearest friends died by suicide about 2 summers ago, 57 years old. We had our kids together. They're only 10 weeks apart. And I was just so angry and shocked and all of those things. And I'm like, oh my God, we were just fine. No, we were super, super close when the kids were young and I moved here and we hadn't talked in like 6 months, and that's not going to change it. But I mean, she made a very conscious decision. She'd been writing an I'm out of here note, 20 pages long for months with plans, telling people what to do and where this, I mean, literally telling her husband how to handle the goddamn recycling. So it wasn't a rash decision. And when I see that, I'm like, oh, you got to just keep going, because I know she wasn't well, but she left her son who's only 23 years old, which is still shocking to me. Like I spent 6 months being convinced she was murdered, which was insane, but that's not what happened. But it was just one of those moments that I think everybody thinks we're going to just keep going and they don't. And so it's still something I'm reckoning with.
Sure, that's grief right there. And
Yeah.
that's something hard to deal with on your end. I can't imagine. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Um, It's many people's loss, especially her son.
Sure. With everything you have, and I commend you, keep on going. That's why I chose you as one of my guests. Um, what's your support system look like right now?
I my support system is my immediate family. Even like the kids, I don't lean on them, but their support in the fact that I know there's so much love there. Like I don't ask anything of them. I don't need to. Just knowing that they're there and breathing and living, and their happiness, their joy, their struggles, that actually is a support to me, because I'm happy to be a part of it.
Sure.
My husband's the support system, but I think because of where he is in life and always has been, I'm definitely more of a support to him. But if I sit him down and say, I need you, and it's usually like a task because I do all the tasks, I'll be like, I need you to take care of calling a plumber and doing this and da 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 da, and I literally have to praise him over and over again, but it's worth it. Like it's like that's a support system. He's handling that. So
Yeah.
that and I have a lot of friends. It's women like you, like that we can have these real conversations, and it's just a real conversation. I don't know how to do small talk. I don't. Like if I have to go to like a cocktail party with him for his job or something, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta fake it. And because on the weekends I am spent. I want to not talk to anybody because I can't. I have
Mhm.
given it all out. And so I just have chosen not to do small talk, and that really helps. I only do real talk. I'm not going to do it with my staff. I mean, they're asking me where I went. I'm like, well, I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I had to have a pelvic ultrasound. Got fibroids. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't care if it's quirky or I don't care. It's just I don't have time for small talk. I just don't. Like you never have to guess what I'm thinking. And that in itself is not being shielded, or that is supportive, because when you just share, you get support back. And
Sure.
I feel like that's just the way it works.
And that's one of the biggest things that I love about you is the TMI factor. You and I have always been like truth from the very beginning.
I don't believe in too much information. I really don't. I just don't. I don't buy that. I think it's a whole lot of bullshit, because the person you're giving TMI to, and I use air quotes around that, well, that's why I don't do small talk. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
It's who really does. Anyway.
Well, this concept actually, you helped me create this concept because it's usually at dinner when I start to divulge probably chapters of my memoir
I
of
love it.
what I've been through, of what's going on. And it's like, a reality TV show, but it's my life.
It's your life. Yeah.
And we talk about it over dinner.
So thank you.
With that, are you able to just quickly share what your self-care, your self-love routine looks like right now?
Sure. They're really two different things, and they're both pretty pitiful, and I'm so here for it. When I want to calm my mind, but I need my body to be active, I'm actually quite into gardening these days. Like, I literally want to pull out every plant that doesn't produce food in my yard and grow food. I'm really enjoying. I'll have to send you some photos. I made the most wonderful meal out of everything out of my garden this week. It was so good, so fresh. Loving like learning about companion plants and natural predators and natural pollinators and all of this. I mean, it's truly like a wonderment of learning, and I love to learn and trial and error, and I can jump from one garden bed to the next and it's not like bad. Like in my real life I can't jump from one thing to the next, where if I'm in the garden and I jump from one thing to the next, it's totally fine. And at the end of the day I'm physically tired and emotionally and mentally fulfilled. And then I love to grab a blanket. I want the house to be cold and I want to watch TV and I want to look at dog videos. It is so pathetic and so fantastic. It's like my perfect Saturday. Don't talk to me. Just let me be an introvert, play with my plants, watch bad movies. It's the perfect day.
Love it. I agree with
Yeah.
you. I agree with you. I don't plant, not yet. Maybe, I can learn.
We moved into this house 3 years ago, and with the flower beds and food beds out there, I was like, nah, 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 get rid of that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then now I'm like, I need more. Like, I don't know what happened. There was literally a switch that flipped, and I was like, I got to grow things. And it is so rewarding. So I love getting dirty. I love going into work on Monday, and I can't get the dirt out of my fingernails. It's fantastic.
Oh, I love that. Yes, and I do have to see those pictures. Please share.
Yes. Oh my God, so good.
So we are wrapping up. Again, thank you, Andrea, for your time. But before we go, are there any words of wisdom that you would like to share with our audience?
Sure. And they're not mine, but it is literally something silly I tell myself all the time. I literally hear Marlin, Nemo's dad, saying, just keep swimming.
Thank you for being here today and for honoring these stories at Women Meet for Dinner. The truth isn't always easy to tell, but it always matters. Keep owning your story, keep using your voice, and remember the power in speaking it out loud. If this conversation resonated with you, stay connected and follow along on the socials for more stories and conversations that continue beyond the table. Until next time.